So today I wanted to go into the design philosophy behind creating this game called Trimatch. And the idea was this, right? So when we're playing games, there is this thing called, we can intuitively, when you see someone playing speed chess, right? They're just moving their hands really fast, not really thinking about their moves. Well, they're still thinking, but it's a different kind of thinking. There's a book by Kahneman, I forgot his how to spell his name, but it's the book is called Thinking Fast and Slow, right? So there's this kind of slow and step-by-step thinking, where it's the thing we use when we're thinking about um, like a game like Trimatch versus a game like um, I can't yeah like when there's another kind of thinking where you can just kind of do the thing without thinking about it. It's intuitive. So I really wanted to illustrate the difference between thinking and intuition when it comes to um, playing games and going about our daily tasks, and how AI is really good at the intuitive, just associative kind of thinking, but not really, it can't really, well, it can simulate it, but it can't really truly do the sort of like step by step thinking that humans do, right? So I created this game because I wanted to show that if you gave the rules of the game to AI and then gave it a board position, it doesn't really know how to solve that board position. Um, and I also unexpectedly found that this kind of game doesn't really exist in popular culture. I mean, there's Nim, but who has heard of Nim, right? Nim is a game where you take pieces away and try to be the one to take away the last pile or the last piece to win the game. And games like that, it doesn't really, you have no idea whether you're winning or you're locked into an unwinnable position, similar to this game. So, um, there. Today I'm gonna try to level up to see if I can get farther than yesterday. I think yesterday the farthest I got was beating level 3. I was on level 4. I couldn't beat level 4. Um, but let's see if I could do it today. Right. So let's see. If I go here, I can go here, and then he's gonna go there. Right? I go there, he's gonna go there, and then I can move the last. If I go here, he's gonna go there, and then I'll go here. Oh, whoops. Oh, that was bad. Yeah, cause of this line. I could have gone here, and then yeah. So I would have had to do. Hmm. This. I think this is a loss for me, because these two are defending. These two are defending each other. See, there is some pattern recognition. There is some intuition when it comes to being able to notice these patterns. And obviously, I wasn't able to do that. Was there an earlier move? So this is a losing state, right? And you wouldn't know that if you don't have um, these mental shortcuts, like seeing blue, yellow, yellow in one line to know that you can't replace them. Um, okay, hint. You can force a win with moves KB3. Oh, I did not see that. So it's saying that I can win if I do this, which is true. Because, oh yeah, because you can't go there because of that line, and you can't go there because of that line. Then, yeah, moving here would have blocked him, right? But I'm not leveling up because I used undo and hints, both. So this game is really brutal because you can look at a board and you don't know if you're winning or not, and that's a really brutal part of the game. But is that okay? Like no game does this, right? Because if a game has some gradients, like you can see whether you're on the way to winning or you're on the path to like not doing well, then you can form some intuitions about the game. You can you can kind of adjust your play while you're making your moves. Like in the near term, if your play was good or bad, you'll be able to have some immediate feedback pretty soon. But with this game, you don't know until the very end. Like, for example, if I put this at C3, like, is it a good move? Is it not a good move? The reason I'm doing this is just because I'm kind of used to this kind of opening with the V shape of the blue in a V shape, and I'm kind of familiar with it. I know like I've seen it more often, so I know the patterns more easily. I know the patterns here, but still, like maybe by moving this, by placing it here, I've I've trapped myself in an unwinnable position. It's entirely possible. Now I could go through this line and and kind of calculate all the moves after it to see if I'm really in an unwinnable position or not. But I can't really like that's too many possibilities to go through in my head, right? So I just go there and hopefully the AI, because right now it's AI level one, so it's only able to see one step ahead. Just it's not even able to see my step. It's seeing its own step. So maybe I can outsmart it still, but I would not have been able to do that with a more like an AI that looks farther ahead. So if I were to move here, the AI can move there. It can move there. Right, no, it can't move here. It can't move here. So there's only one place for the AI to go, which is in B3. So if I do this, I block this line from being replaced, this horizontal vertical, and he is able to go B3, which leaves me with no valid place, question mark? No, I can do B2, right? Yeah, I would be able to do B2 with the coin. Um, I can't do C1. But I would be able to do B2 after. No, I wouldn't. Because he goes here knight. If I do B2, that's a vertical line that I cannot place. So if I place here, then I lose. On the other hand, if I place in the middle, what about that? If I place, I can't, sorry. I can't even go here. Why can't I replace this one? So let's say I replace that one, then he is able to go knight over there, in which case I lose. And yeah, that's a pattern that I'm able to see because like whenever you have the blue and the so the magic and the knight like forming this kind of pattern, like magic, knight, magic, knight, magic, knight, it prevents any gold from being placed because then it's going to form a line of three, an anti-pattern of three. So if I go here, I also lose. He'll just go there. And if I go here, then he has the option of going there. I'll try, okay. So going here, he has the option of putting it down in the center, putting the coin down in the center, which doesn't really help that much because I can just replace this coin on the next turn. Whereas if he uses a knight, so if I go here, he uses a knight to replace one of the coins, like top or left, then I I guess I gotta place a coin, and that's really hard, right? I can't place a coin. If you replace, I can't. Wait a minute. That doesn't actually. Yeah, that blocks. This one blocks the coin from being placed, and this one blocks the coin from being placed here. So this is also losing. I think I lost. Give me a hint. Yeah, I lost. So really, the play that I think I did wrong was this one. So that's what I'm talking about, right? Earlier I was saying like by placing this here, I didn't know whether I was gonna trap myself in a lost in a unwinnable position, and turns out I did. And so I thought about this. I thought about changing the game design so that you couldn't get into unwinnable positions. There's always going to be a lifeline of some sort, maybe, or maybe the game gives you more feedback along the way. Like if you get yourself in a bad position, the game will tell you, hey, that pattern just caused you to essentially lose. Um, if the opponent plays perfectly, or it'll give you a score based on some probability engine thing. It'll say this is like a like you're probably going to lose if you do this, and that kind of feedback can guide your intuition a little bit better, um, instead of like basically, yeah, like it can shine some light into the fog of like, am I making the right move or not? And then allow you to recognize this pattern in the future. Um, But then I thought, what if we don't do that? What if the game is just hard? What if the game is just hard? It's not like any game that people have ever played before, and you just have to recognize when you're in a losing position and just hit that new game button. Because when we're so used to in puzzle games, we're so used to every single puzzle having a winning solution, right? That's how puzzles are designed. But that's not necessarily true in real life. In real life, we encounter quote unquote puzzles, but they don't really have a winning position. You know what I'm saying? So, see, could this be a similar situation as before? So, yeah, so if I do this, then he lost the game. I think he made a blunder going here. But yeah, if I do this, then notice how every single horizontal line has a knight and a mystic, right? So you can't place the coin anywhere because that's going to form an anti-pattern of three different tiles for any of the lines. So that's it. I've leveled up. I am now at level 3. It's not going to make this kind of mistake at level 3 because it's looking 3 steps ahead. So yeah, I feel like in the what I realized today was that the game industry has been so like moving towards this kind of coddling of players. So think about how we went from Morrowind to Oblivion to Skyrim, how like the game just gets easier and easier and just has less and less depth, and how much less interesting that has become. And okay, here I have to think. What do I do here? Okay, I can do a couple of things. So here, obviously, okay, so here I can play this over here because he wouldn't be able to complete the three of a kind. And if I place, that's only, in fact, I think that's the only place I could place this blue piece, this magic, this mystic. I keep calling these different names, right? Because I initially, so the canonical name is, this is nobles, and these are knights, and these are mystics. Um, okay, I'm gonna play here, and then he goes there, and now there are two positions left. I think I win because usually you win when there are two positions left, but maybe not. Maybe I lost. Yeah, I think I lost because I really should have thought about it a little bit more, huh? Because here it's a diagonal and here it's a vertical, and I have no other places to go. So that was not the move. I should have thought about it. But yeah, so that was not the move. And in fact, you can't do this because they'll just place the blue there. Can't do this, can't do this. Can't do any of these. So the blue is not playable. If we're saying that the only place, um, if I place it here, yeah, the only place he can play, um, is bottom left, right? So if I place it top left, because if I place it here, can he can he do anything? I think that if I do it here, because he can't go there. Oh, he can go there potentially. If I do this, he can potentially go there, right? If I go here, he can also potentially go bottom right. Um, if I go here, he can go, he has to replace it, right? Like he doesn't, yeah, I don't think he has any other plays. Oh, wait, he can go A3. So going here gives him A1 as a possibility, or A3, right? Yeah, because if I go here, he'll go A3, two blues. I can't complete the third because of A1, B1 being a noble and a knight. Okay, so the question is, do I want to put it here? Either way, I'm giving him the option of like, so if I put it here, right? What is that option? What does that give him? If I put it here, then the only option for him is to go A1. If I put it here, then he has the option to go C1 or C3. He has two options there. Do I want to just force him into the one option? Is the question of going bottom left. Hmm. Wait, he can go bottom right. Wait, no. Yeah, I think he has to go bottom left. Yeah, I think it has to be bottom left. It's pretty much this pattern, right? A3, B3, or C1, C2. They're both pointing at C3. They're both protecting C3 from being played by blue from by a magic or mystic. Um, so then there's only one option for him to play, which is A1. And if he plays an A1, does that lock me out of playing anything? No, I can basically move anywhere. I can basically have a lot of different options. And potentially, I think that's a good line, yeah. I think if I do A3, he does A1, and I can replace like a coin, let's say. I can replace like potentially A3, and then he's out of moves, right? Let's do this. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't see the diagonal. Oh my God. You guys are probably like sitting there just screaming at the screen because I didn't see that. If I had moved there, then that would have given him too many options. Like he could choose to go A3 or A1, right? And he went A3. And I could, yeah, I would have won, I think. I would have gone this and I would have won. Yeah, but oh man. Okay, new game. Beating level 3 is doable. Okay. See, I'm trying to do the same opening moves to some extent, And doing this and then this is always something I can replicate no matter what the computer does. So that limits my starting positions a little bit more so that there's less I have to memorize, less positions. Okay, where to put the knight? In the center gives you the most control. Probably a good idea. Okay, now the calculations start. Now the board is small enough that I can calculate it. But okay, so do I go bottom right? If I go bottom right, that leaves he can't go here with the gold with the noble. He can't go. He can't actually go B3. Yeah, B3 is available, but A2 is also available. Okay, A2 is available. B3 is available. Only B1 is not. So that's perfect. Just making sure. Yeah, that's perfect. So then I can play here, and he will have nowhere to go, right? Perfect. I'm leveled up to level 4. So as I was saying, why are we always coddling the players, you know? Why can't we design a system that is brutally unpredictable, hard, non-intuitive, that resists intuitive learning, actually, um, that also, ooh, he wants to do the pattern. We'll go for it. Um, that, you know, that the only way, and then that is stacked against you, right? Because AI can do, we're using an algorithm called the minimax, which basically means that the AI is just looking at the steps ahead of you. So it's calculating, it's like trying every single possibility and is trying to figure out, well, can I win on the next step? And if not, for every play that I try, this is like a branching tree structure. For every move that I try, what are the human player's options? And can they win with any of those options? And if they can or cannot, then what moves do I move on the next turn? And can I win with any of those options? And so they're basically cheating, okay? And because we can't do that. Like it's way too much calculation. We can only do it if the possibility space gets to like 3 blank spaces or something around that. So I can't do it at this juncture, right? Okay, obviously, if I do A3 and he does A1, then I lost because, right? Because if I do this and he does that, then I've lost because I can't place the the next turn anywhere. I can't play the next turn. So if I instead I do this, he does that, I also lose. If instead I'm doing this, and we'll see where he goes. He has to go either top or bottom with the knight, or he can do a coin, right? If I do the center, what I'm blocking is this space and this space from the coin. The coin cannot go A3, the coin cannot go A1 because they're gonna form a diagonal that way. Um, Now, if he places a knight anywhere, then like if he places a knight anywhere, I win. Because let's say if he places a knight here, I'll just go with the coin, I'll go there. And and then he has nowhere else to go after that, right? Because the coin cannot be placed here. The coin cannot be placed here because of the knight and the mystic preventing the coin from going there. So he can't do a knight. So the only option for him to do is the coin or the noble. So the noble can go, as we said, B3 and B1. But if he goes B3, I'll just go B1. And then it's back to his turn, and he has to place the knight. So I think, wait, but okay, that's problematic because okay, so if I place the knight here, he goes coin B3, right? Coin B3, what do? I can do queen b1, but then he just replaces, he just plays knight b3, and then now I've got nowhere to go. What? Okay, so but if he plays b3, queen b3, I play the knight. I play the knight, um, but where do I place the knight? Bottom, right? I play the bottom knight, and then I think he loses. So yeah, so as you expected, I placed the knight here, and he loses because that's a diagonal, that anti-pattern diagonal, and that's an anti-pattern diagonal. He couldn't have gone to either of those places. So I beat my yesterday's record. I'm now at AI depth level 5. I think I would quit while I'm ahead today, and maybe I'll try again another day. Thanks for watching.